What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. If you haven't taken the time to invest in figuring out why Funimation is trending on Twitter, I highly suggest you do so. A little bit of Rule 34 from official voice actors to your childhood. It's worth a couple of good laughs. That being said, let's get into today's Market Watch with the first news of the sky falling. Apollousa has been bought out. Oh no, who could have... Wait, didn't TCG Player just have an 8% bonus bucks back sale, which encourages people to kind of go for cards they've been waiting for? That may have been what happened, and we see there's plenty of it. There's 19 prices lined up already for Apollousa over here, and she is still 55 on eBay before 58, and she does climb up towards 60 somewhat quick. Now, this is what happens whenever there's a sale on TCG Player. People go for what they've been waiting for. Alright, it's time to get my Apollousa. Nibiru's coming. She can negate Nibiru if she's my first one. There's plenty of reasons to go after her. An amazing rank 4 to leave on the field, and one of the main reasons to buy Rising Rampage at all. But the sale causes this kind of panic buying in a sense of, oh, it's going up, I better get it now, it's on sale, and then people on eBay see it's going up on TCG Player, alright, it's time to get it, there's only one seller now that's in a reasonable price point before it starts to breach 60, yeah, people are going to start to clamor for it instead of letting it fall back down, because there's thousands of people watching the market these days, and there's only going to be so many copies of a card on market at a time. But we already see a healthy amount of prices start to relist, and it'll probably begin to trickle back down just a little bit. For example, Phantasme also is up versus market price. People were waiting for that for the competitive season. It's boosted up around $6 over here, and we look over to eBay, and it is relatively cheaper because they didn't have a bonus bucks back sale that you all use my TCG Player link in the description down below to start shopping, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel. But it's always important to remember these moments and kind of take that snapshot of, all right, what's the reasoning? Are people really getting it because it's such a great card, or was it a clamor because of a sale and it's a great card? So, noting the reasoning, we'll see how it does on the market from this point on, but it is a card I highly suggest having access to as a competitive player. Now, let's get in-depth, down and dirty with the Megatins. I have been sent so much information on the case ratios for the Megatins, and the prices are freaking falling. I've got a little bit of good news. From all the data I can see, nothing is significantly short printed. Every single vendor that's told me a short print or something's up, they've sent me different kinds of, oh, I didn't pull this many of this or that, so it seems almost regional. You should have, out of a single case of Megatins, a 1.5 pull rate of any card, not chance. Like, you should pull 1.5 copies of each card, so almost everyone is pulling that 1 to 2. Sometimes a case isn't going to have a card, sometimes a case will have more of a card, but between every vendor that's reached out to me, resourced with me, and I've seen a ton of different case pulls, it really seems that 1.5 ratio over large pulls is sticking. Some are less, some are more, but each vendor, it seems to vary and change, so good job, Konami. It's looking really nice. Nothing really significantly shorted within the promos either. Some people are pulling max on Nibiru, other people, unfortunately, getting Dimension Shifters, and other people getting Dark Ruler no more. So it's a really good feeling to see that the promos are somewhat stable, RNG, and everything else in the set, you've got that chance to pull. Now, what is surprising is on release, because the promos are doing so well, which we'll get into it in a second, there's not a single card over $20 on release this year. Remember the past years. We had Dimensional Barrier and Cosmic Cyclone already announced for reprints when the 10s released, yet they held the $20 price point on release. There's nothing digging into the sand because of how open, how competitive, and how amazing the market is on this, and it is falling faster than we could have expected. I expected Boral Sword to be that $20 pull card, but the promos prices are really giving that even out to where people don't care about the price of what they're pulled. They're just sell, sell, sell. Gotta get my money back. Gotta go in. Because with a Megatin, the vendors are buying it at $10.5 to $11, and Boral Sword's the auto-win card. Now even Call by the Grave is no longer that, as it's down towards 10. Somebody told you guys to wait a little bit, and if my projections stay true, like, the competition's already ramped up so much, imagine what it's gonna be like on Monday when everybody's busted open their 10s and everybody's listed their quantities. I just don't think Call by the Grave could have taken the top slot for the 10s, and I think it had to be Boral Sword. Jackalope is up there atop all the dangers as a prismatic secret, and the reasoning for this probably is that it's a rarity upgrade, but also a danger that you want with the engine. Everybody who doesn't have the danger engine is going to be seeking these out equally. Jackalope's the highest rarity. It held the high price point for a long time, around 20 to 25, and it fits right in there with Nessie and Tsuchinoko. So being its prismatic secret rarity, the people who already had dangers might want to upgrade their Jackalopes, and the players going for max copies too are after it as well. But with Nessie, Snake, and Jackalope only being hunted in 2s for the most part, I don't expect them to hold the greatest value in the 10s long term, but they're very, very affordable past what I would have thought initially. Now, we get into the next card. It's Trap Trick. This is the card I've been suggesting because people will want it in playsets. Tons of Rogue players have been waiting for this one, and it's a very good look at an affordable copy of this card. Finally, it's a card that underestimated on market, started at $9, boosted to $30, never really looked back too much, and people are also going to be going after the other pieces. So look for Artifact Sanctums and Scythes. Look for what you're going to be actually playing with Trap Trick, because there's plenty of people hunting this down. There's Trap Trick Paleo Frog players who are going to want a look at this. Plenty of Stun players are going to want to look at this, and it's a good long-term card. The Sky Striker engine has never been cheaper, and it is also nice to see an Engage at $5. Feels a lot better to say that than 50, doesn't it? The Thunder Dragons, oh, they fell beyond belief. Look at this. We're already down to $3 cards on the front page, starting with Thunder Dragon Dark Prismatic Secret Rare. Red Reboot's also a good call. Similar to Call by the Grave, it's its max rarity version, no matter how many other versions get printed. We did just have a common. So I think this is decent. $3 is what the Super, I think, maxed out at ever. So a really good look at getting yourself a playset of these right now. Actually, I would just kind of go for it and get yourself 6 or 9. That's the VCTRFS rule, right? Get 9 of them. I think that's actually really good. 3 for yourself, 3 for your binder, and 3 to sell later. I think that's actually really smart whenever he says that. Nightmare Unicorn here. This is a one of in the extra deck and is oh so low. I think this is one of the ones that will shoot up after a while. When the 10s are gone and this doesn't get reprinted for a while, or if it doesn't, we know how Konami likes to, that reprint was so good, we'll do it again with the Megatins. But I think Nightmare Unicorn will be relatively overlooked unless it's in something like Dual Devastator, and I think it's a really good pickup at 3, and I would go ahead and pick up extra copies for yourself as well for other decks or for trading. Colossus, oh, it feels so good to say you're freaking $3, man. Oh, I want to build Danger Thunder initially in my thoughts, but I'm also kind of, you know, scared of Nibiru. But everyone who's like overreacting to Nibiru, the more Nibiru is played, the worse it gets. Similar to grass decks, similar to that, because the more stun decks that are out there, the worse Nibiru gets as a side card and the less it gets used. So I think there's some value still to having the Danger Thunder stuff, but I think there is a clock also versus the next Forbidden Unlimited list coming up in October. Prismatic World Legacy Secession is, I think it could go down even from here, but I think it's a card I would want to also have out of the 10s. And then looking through everything, so affordable, so cheap, so amazing. And for the hype of the 10s, Tier 0 has completely sold out of their sealed product and completely sold out of some of the top cards once again. They're more sort of a little too pricey, but they sold out, and we couldn't have seen the market crashing like this. This is a good snapshot of their sellouts versus what things were going for, what people were after. And hey, Jackalope, under market, pretty good. But like Engage, $1 over. There's always going to be wins whenever you're going for pre-sales, but also whenever it's this mass open, like Dual Power, as we saw, the crash like none other, Megatins are experiencing that on day freaking 1. I want to see where they go. And again, wrapping back around, the value is thanks to the promos. This is why we're able to have $15 Boil Sword. I took my own advice. I bought mine at $18.50. I thought it was going to be a $20+ card that goes to 30 out of the 10s. I thought it would carry the 10s, but the promos bringing such amazing value. 284. Look, 189. This is the competition we're going to see on these. This is insane. They're going to want to sell their copies. They're going to undercut each other. So just imagine what this is going to be like on Monday, Tuesday when they're not moving enough copies. But look at that. $6 really carrying the value, because out of your case of 10, it's likely at least 4 of them are going to have Nibiru, but sometimes variants, sometimes less, sometimes more. Dark Ruler no more, also some give back at $5, and on eBay we see very similar prices, so it's actually starting to cheapen up. Please, if you're shopping the Megatins and you plan to wait a bit, use my TCG player link in the description down below. I think by Monday or Tuesday, that's where it's going to heat up the most in competition and have the lowest prices, but do always check both. Don't just do it to support your boy. Make sure you're getting the best deals on your cardboard and on your Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you know, whenever you're shopping. So don't just blindly use my link. Also search for yourself, look around, find the deals, get yourself the cheapest deals. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this more in-depth discussion at looking through the cards, what I'd personally be picking up, and how I feel about them. And again, have some fun on Twitter later with the searching Funimation. I've had a lot of laughs. It's been a while since I laughed that much out loud. Thanks for watching, everybody.